from Northeastern in Boston, her extensive work experience. I will echo a comment by one of my friends and colleagues this morning. We are so lucky to steal you from Rockland, such an asset to Westchester County. But what I wanted to share with you today is that I got a chance to speak with Dr. Jennings for a few minutes on Wednesday. And in addition to her expertise, in addition to her commitment to excellence, what struck me most is that she leads not only with her head, but with her heart. And she said about those that are served at Graystone, where she is Vice President of Strategic Programs and Partnerships, what she says to those they serve, which is, we are very concerned with everything that concerns you. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Penny Jennings.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here today. We always like the opportunity to share the good news about Graystone's open hire model. And if you would please play our short video.
Because I didn't have that experience, or because I wasn't male, or because I, didn't have the education, or there was different factors that they just looked at me and just like, and they didn't give me that chance. I get it, but all I needed was a chance. So I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and I just kept getting no. So it was hard.
Hi, Shauna. This is Melissa calling from Graystone Bakery. Please be here at 9:30 with 2 forms of ID. Congratulations. Welcome to Graystone.
We focus on the future. We don't focus on the past.
How do we give people hope?
It's just been up, They told me yes when everyone else said no. And it means everything.
Just a whole host of folks, about 10 million actually across this country, who have some type of employment barrier.
Starting my lifestyle over from the negative to the positive.
We have this amazing open hiring model that I can tell you is quite revolutionary. This idea of just having someone put their name on a list.
Graystone means everything. I'm stable. There's no question mark for tomorrow. I know that I have a job. I know that my bills are going to be paid. I know that my children are fed.
It's a family because we're looking out for each other.
They want to be part of this team.
I felt like I had new life. I was able to provide for my family.
A brief snippet of Shauna's story. Every day at Graystone Bakery, we see thousands of Shaunas come through the doors. So I'd like to ask you, how many of you have heard of Graystone Bakery or Graystone Foundation? Very good. For those of you who have heard, you've probably heard about the model of hiring which we use for our bakers that come in to bake our brownies. It's called open hiring. What is open hiring? We do not have resumes. We do not conduct interviews. We do not have background checks. For those individuals with barriers to employment, all they need to do is come to the bakery or virtually put their name on a waiting list. When an opportunity opens, they receive the call, as Shauna did, and they are coming in to an orientation on day 1. Day 2 through 6 months later, they are in an apprenticeship program. From the day they enter our doors, they are paid the salary. Upon completion of that paid apprenticeship period, they are in a union at that point. Why is open hiring a radical, some say unorthodox. We like to call it revolutionary, despite the fact that we've been operating with this model of hiring for almost 40 years now. This model was implemented by the founder of Graystone Bakery, Bernie Glassman. As a Zen Buddhist, Bernie believed that it was incumbent upon him to create thriving communities. Being based in the Bronx, New York, his bakery in Yonkers, he recognized that in order to have an impact and eradicate poverty and to just have an impact on the social justice system, he needed to do something besides giving a handout to those who were in need. He started to say to people, well, we won't give you a handout, we won't give you a donation today, but we will provide an opportunity. Come to the bakery, work a day, and we'll pay you for a day. Fast forward to later in that decade, this was in 1980s. Later on, he met with Ben Cohen of Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream. We would get a contract with Ben & Jerry's. If you eat the ice cream flavors such as the chocolate fudge brownie ice cream, the inclusions in that ice cream, the brownies are baked at Graystone. Our motto at Graystone Bakery is, we do not hire people to bake brownies, we bake brownies to hire people. So what are we doing? At Graystone Bakery, we only have a finite number of opportunities at one given time. We may employ between 85 to 100 bakers. These are entry-level positions that are reserved for those individuals with barriers whose name is on the list. But what are we doing now? We are engaging other companies and businesses to adopt this form of hiring. We've been very successful to date. We can boast that we have over 30 companies that have adopted the open hire model. I'd like to talk about one of our major adopters is The Body Shop. I'm sure you've all heard of The Body Shop. In 2019, The Body Shop they piloted the open hire model in their North Carolina distribution center with Graystone's assistance and guidance and mentoring and showing them the way to implement the waiting list and all of the things that made us successful with this model. I'm happy to say that today, not only are they operating with this model in their North Carolina distribution center, but this year in 2022, they've rolled it out into all distribution centers throughout all markets within North America, Australia, and in the UK, which is notable. To this end, this year, they project that they're going to hire up to 5,000 individuals using this model. Why is this significant? Recently, you've all read that there are over 11 million positions that many say they're having difficulty filling. At Graystone, we say, well, there is an entire population of individuals who have been told no so many times, as you heard Shauna say. She had been told no for many different reasons, many different barriers that she had to gaining a position. We know now that many of those individuals have stopped looking because they are tired of the rejection. Open hiring allows people to know that you're willing to give them a chance. Open hiring is not an entitlement program. It is not a promise for work. It is simply an opportunity. The dignity of work makes people want to work, makes them want to get up. It provides hope. So the main question we are faced with is, well, if you're hiring people without background check, without a resume, and without an interview, how do you know what you're getting? But I submit to you, when you do the reference check, you only get the names from an individual. I'm going to only give you the reference that I know will give me a good reference. When you do a background check, you have more problems in many cases. Sometimes businesses run into other problems by running the background check. They sometimes run into situations where they look at records that should have been sealed and deny the person the job because of those records. That is a situation as well. That can cause an odd, perverse problem, as opposed to thinking that everyone that comes in to open hiring, through open hiring, is going to create mayhem. Secondly, that's the largest misconception with people thinking it's not going to work. People are going to fight, or just nonsense. But those things are not the case. We also, let's talk about the body shop a little more. With the body shop, with the 5,000 positions that they plan to fill this year, those individuals will be making above minimum wage, which is really good for every location that they're going to operate. It's going to add to the socioeconomic sustainability and improvement in those local areas. We also have a very close partnership with the Smart Foundation in the Netherlands. They've hired about maybe over 1,200 individuals through open hiring, and this model is taking off. Why now? Now because with all of the open positions, with the difficulty in hiring, if your business would say, well, we're going to open hire, we're going to employ this model, or even pilot the model, the day that you make it clear and make it public that you're going to employ this model, that very day, people do come to your agency and put their name on a waiting list. Recently, we partnered with Bondwell, which is a frozen food packaging company in Rochester, New York. The very day that they made their announcement, over 25 people came down to get their name on the list, genuinely seeking employment. We've been collecting data over the past 2 years to substantiate that this model does work. And through that data collection, we found that individuals that are given an opportunity, such as Shauna, are more loyal to their employee. Our retention rates are greater than other manufacturing companies, Graystone being a manufacturing center, food manufacturer. Our retention rate is double that of our competitors. In addition, we also realize that the employees feel more loyalty because they are more appreciative of the opportunity. So we would employ all of you today to please consider open hiring. If you have positions that you are unable to fill, please consider open hiring. By no means do we think that you can hire an executive director or a vice president or even your confidential assistant. No, but entry-level positions, we do not despise small beginnings. If you can just open one position and see how it goes, see the benefit, the loyalty that the individual feels because of the opportunity. So I encourage you and your company to employ open hiring. If you are interested, please reach out to Graystone Bakery or Graystone Foundation. We can be reached at 914-578-3900, and we would certainly be happy to guide you, mentor you, and assist you in this model. It is very necessary, and here in Westchester County, we've already taken steps to ensure that we would have a more inclusive, diverse population. We have already banned the box, which is great. It's a great start. But open hiring is not only for formerly incarcerated. The barriers to employment include people with mental health issues, people that can't find affordable housing, people who have children and can't find adequate child care. Those who speak another language can't get a job because of lack of English proficiency. The barriers are endless. We also, because we know that the barriers are great, we use something, we have the money that we save with the background checks and the resume and the time that we do save on interviews, we use those resources to hire what we call our path maker. This is a caseworker or social worker, if you will, that provides wraparound services, and that individual is seated at our bakery. Why? Because we want to ensure that these individuals that are employed through this model are successful. So on any given day, they can go and speak to that case manager and get support and really get referrals to agencies that you represent. because we know that it takes an entire village, not only to raise a child, it takes an entire village to raise a family. So I thank you, and I ask you to please consider open hiring, and we would love to assist you at no cost to you. We'd love to do it because it's really beneficial to our whole community. And that is what we seek to do, build a thriving, more inclusive community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Penny. How about one more round of applause for Dr. Penny Jennings, everyone? Thank you. So if you remember from this morning, I mentioned that we did have a cancellation, one of our speakers, so that's why there's a little more of a gap, and I apologize for that, but we'll be back in about 15 minutes with our next TED Style Talk speaker, so give us a couple of moments. Thank you.